Naoya Inoue, the number one pound-for-pound boxer, steps back into the boxing ring this weekend, back in Japan, as he is defending one of the belts that he has unified over the years. This time, the undisputed Super Bantamweight Championship is on the line. He is going to be facing Yi Jun Kim, who is taking this fight, we should say, because of an injury. Want to get this exactly right. On October 3rd, 2024, thanks Wikipedia, it was reported that Inoue would defend his undisputed Super Bantamweight title for the third time against undefeated IBF and WBO mandatory challenger Sam Goodman in Tokyo, Japan on what would be our Christmas Eve. But 11 days before, it was reported that Goodman suffered a serious cut on his eyelid during sparring, and the fight had to be moved until January. In January, just 14 days ago, it was reported that Goodman withdrew from the bout due to the recurrence of his eye injury. He is replaced by number 11 ranked WBO contender Kim Yi-jun, or Yi Jun Kim. So that is how we got to this point for the monster, or Kaibutsu for those in Japan, as this is... He is exactly that. He is a monster. 31 years old, born in Kanagawa, Japan. He stands merely 5'5", but there is dynamite at the end of a 67.5-inch reach. He steps into the ring 28-0, with the judges only required 3 times. 25 wins by knockout. One of those came against TJ Doheny, in September of 2024 with a 7th round knockout victory. He is the undisputed Super Bantamweight champion, defending it now for the 3rd time this weekend. His last 9 wins have come by way of knockout. He became the undisputed Super Bantamweight champion in 2023, beating Marlon Tapales. He also was the undisputed Bantamweight champion at one point in his career. The former Ring Magazine Bantamweight champion and former current Ring Magazine Super Bantamweight champion was the 2023 Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year. He also won the World Boxing Super Series Bantamweight tournament in 2019 with a win over Nonito Donaire. He is trained by his father Shingo, a former amateur boxer, and he has been a pro since 2012. The David to his Goliath is Kim, who is 32 years old, born in Seoul, South Korea, 21-2-2, with 13 wins coming by knockout. His most recent was in his last fight in May of last year against Rakesh Lakab, with a knockout in the 5th round there. It is back-to-back TKO wins following a majority decision loss against Rob Diesel in his USA debut. His last 6 wins have been by stoppage. His last decision was in 2016 against Yuki Strong. He lost the 2nd fight of his career. He actually started 4-1-2, then rattled off 15 wins in a row. He is the former IBF Asia Super Bantamweight champion and a pro since 2012. So it is obviously very long odds for him this weekend. It is going to be a very difficult test, going up against the best fighter in the world right now and a knockout artist. And you don't even really have the, oh, well, maybe he can outbox him, because that's not Kim's game either. I don't believe. Anyway, so it is, like I said, it is a long road for a potential upset here for Kim. Obviously, if you guys have been following all week, I have been gushing about how good Inoue is. But right now, if we just want to say, well, maybe there's a chance, every fight, whatever, Kim is at plus 1,600 if you fancy yourself that way. Inoue to win by knockout is minus 1,600 right now. It is, if you think this fight's going the distance, plus 750. A wild set of odds looking at this for Inoue. So let's look at this though. How does Kim shock the world? How does he pull off the upset? Well, no one's beaten Inoue so far, so we don't really have a roadmap to go off of there. The one thing that gives him a bit of a, I guess, edge or whatever is that he's not as much of a knockout artist as Inoue is, But he has at least the power to be able to do that, and the precision to be able to shock the world with a big punch here to maybe put Inoue away. And the other part of it is that I do believe he is a little bit bigger than Inoue. Oh no, I'm wrong on that. He stands at 5'4". Apologies, my bad. Should have known that one already. But it is like the more you go over it, the more it's like, well, maybe he could do this, but Inoue has that. Well, maybe he could do it, but Inoue has that. It is a fist fight. One fist could land and shock the world, and it would be that way. But I would suggest that Inoue, understanding the situation that he is in right now, where he is facing someone who is taking this fight on 2 weeks' notice, and he is going in there against the 11th ranked challenger for one of the 4 belts that he holds currently. I would anticipate this being a fairly quick fight. I think that Inoue can go out and stop this thing early. I would imagine he just tries to Terminator walk through Yi Jun Kim and pick up a win. Now, we thought it was going to be maybe a bit more one-sided in his last bout, and it lasted all the way to the 7th round. So maybe there is a little bit of a chance there for Kim to start winning the early rounds. But I think if you're the underdog Kim in this situation, you kind of just got to run at the buzzsaw and hope that one of the things that you land gets through there and just turn this thing into a wild brawl and hope that your punch is the one that lands first. From a gambling perspective, like I said, there isn't a whole lot of value here. If you are looking for some, like total rounds right now, under a round and a half is plus 400. So if you think Inoue is just going to go out there and just ba-boom, then there's an opportunity. After the 5th round, it gets into the minus 200s and whatnot. But like minus 450 you're minus 150 for 4.5 rounds, under 4.5 rounds, minus 115 for under 3.5 rounds, and then it's plus money for rounds 2 and rounds 1. So I think there's an opportunity to maybe sprinkle a little bit on there and get some value. But the obvious is that Naoya Inoue, I believe, is going to win this fight, and he is going to win it by way of dynamite explosion with another knockout win. So we'll talk about what's next for Inoue coming up, and for Kim coming up on Monday as we break all of this down.